Hello everyone. In this video we're going to continue reading the story of Alpha Omega and the three races, the insectoid, drove race, the Rhylish, and of mankind. Starting with mankind, we talk about the fall of the First Empire. 2 decades after the expedition left, the widening rift between the colonies of Earth became too great to be bridged, and simultaneous revolts on both Mars and Venus resulted in their succession from the Central Earth government. The central government was ill-equipped to suppress 2 revolts at the same time and had to grudgingly grant the colonies independence. Both colonies reverted from the democratic Earth type of government to form a monarchy, although why they chose this term remains obscure even today. Free of the heavy burden of central government taxation, the colonies then entered a period of rapid expansion over the faces of their planets, while the central government slowly declined as a major power in the area of the Triad. It was during this period that the Mason field was discovered by Arthur Mason Grace. The details of the discovery are vague, but it is known that it was accidental and that his mother-in-law was inadvertently atomized during one of the experiments. The rumor at the time was that she was deliberately atomized by Grace because of familial difficulties. It is largely discounted today. Experiments with the Mason field by Grace and others led to the now familiar Mason field drive and the Dacer shield. The Mason field drive quickly declared a national asset by the central government, and consequently the details of the drive mechanism were kept secret from the Mars and Venus governments. It was this monopoly over the Mason field that allowed the central government to quickly take over the interplanetary shipping, as the now antiquated hydrogen drive equipped transports of the former colonies could not hope to compete with the much faster central government's fleet. The decline of the Mars and Venus merchant fleets and the resultant economic decline caused unrest in both governments. This unrest was further fanned by the central government's offer to take the planets back into their government, not as colonies but as fully autonomous states. Before long, the Martial Civil War erupted against the ailing government of the I Ling, the Martian monarch of the time. Calls for help to the central government by the rebels resulted in the hasty conversion of some of the central government's merchant fleets to crude warships. This motley fleet of warships sped to the aid of the Martian Unity League, as the rebels now called themselves. After a one-sided battle, one I Ling's aged fleet, the Mool, took over the government and accepted the central government's offer of statehood in the central government. The Second Empire era. Meanwhile, Alpha Centauri expedition was nearing its destination. Its transmissions, faithfully monitored by the central government during these years, contained an amazing message. The 3 ships were being attacked by a race called the Drove alien warships. Then the signal stopped. This news, when transmitted through the solar system, generated a tremendously popular enthusiasm to construct a field of Mason field drives equipped to revenge the loss of the ill-fated expedition. This, coupled with the tremendous advantage of the Earth government's Mason field drive fleet, caused the Venusian ruler Arcos III to abdicate and accept central government's offer of statehood. In celebration of this reunification, the central government declared the foundation of the Second Empire. The empire then began the construction of the First Fleet, a force more powerful than anything before. The fleet left on the 5-year trip to Alpha Centauri after a concerted effort by 3 planets to produce the necessary ships in record time. A rather vocal minority managed to have included with the fleet an exploration and colonization team to exploit any habitable planets that were found, and to renew effort begun 200 years earlier by the Alpha Centauri expedition. I'll continue this in another video, and I'll do a recap of what had happened in this storyline.